my MTC teacher used this analogy. She is Russian and she was from my mission. But just for Russians, a lot of people just kind of see them as like kind of grumpy, really mean, straightforward. And to be honest, they kind of are. But she said she compared them to coconuts. They're like really hard and like not so pretty on the outside, but you get to the inside and they're just flowing with sweetness and goodness. Like they might have nothing, but they'll still try to give you the coat off of their back. If when they consider you a friend, they would do anything for you. And so it really was so beautiful. I was so humbled to come into people's little one-room apartments, and they would still offer me some of their food even though they didn't have very much. Just they're very hospitable, and once you get into that inner circle, they're very, very loving, very kind. Although sometimes as a cultural difference, they like to argue, or their tone of voice is harsher. The way they ask questions kind of even sounds rude in an American perspective. But you get used to it, you learn about it, and sometimes even actually end up adopting it a little bit. In one of my last areas, I had a pretty new companion. She just finished training and I think another transfer. And I hadn't realized this, but I had let some of these Russian conversational demographics maybe slip into my language. So sometimes I'd be like, do you have the phone? Or like, just like asking questions like that, or like, come here, do this, like very command form. And she's like, you can say please and thank you. And in my head, it just didn't even connect that it could be seen as rude. Like I'd kind of adopted that culture into my own mannerisms. And so for a little bit, I was trying to readjust, and I'd say something and be like, go get that. And then I'd be like, please. Or just like, I'd have to remember about the different culture and remember that, you don't always have to be so direct or loud when like asking for someone to do something. And so it was a little bit interesting to see that. But really, for like Russians, they don't really take things personally. Like they're very argumentative. They love to discuss things out and kind of have that like pressure, maybe just kind of like jazzing you a little bit, like seeing where it'll go. But I don't know, after a while, you become accustomed to it and you realize when they're joking or just that they're very involved in this conversation. Like my first Sunday, I thought everyone in the Relief Society wanted to kill each other. But really, they were just so passionate about what they were talking about. And Joseph Smith, he saw God. Like they just get so into it. They're just so passionate when they speak. It's really cool, and then sometimes frightening at the same time. But I love it.